28 Days Later, another film that I have not seen in quite some time and decided to do another first watch of. So let's talk about the movie 28 Days Later. Hey, how you doing? It is I, the Terrific Lady, otherwise known as Brandy, and welcome to Retro Horror School. And happy Friday! It's another Friday already. Imagine that. I've been feeling pretty rough over the last couple of days, so I've fallen behind in a lot of things this week, so I'm just kind of rushing to catch up. But I hope that you all are doing well, and I hope that you're poised to have a great weekend. Very cold here. The wind's blowing and it's snowing and just, yeah, I like the snow, but I hate the cold. It's kind of a paradox. But anyway, 28 Days Later. This is another movie that is notoriously hard to find on streaming, mainly because of rights issues. Not only that, it is hard to find a copy of. I believe it is one of those movies that are out of print. And it is a movie that I haven't seen in a long time, that I lost during one of my many moves, and I was able to finally find a copy of. So, without further ado, let's dive right into my second first watch of 28 Days Later. The last time I believe I saw it was in 2013. So 10 years. Not about as long as Scream, but there's still a little bit of a gap in between the last time I saw it and now. And I really remembered nothing about it. So here we go. 28 Days Later was released on November 1st, 2002 in the UK and Ireland, and was released on June 27th, 2003 in the United States. It is directed by Danny Boyle, who has also directed Trainspotting, and written by Alex Garland. As an aside note, a 28 Days Later sequel, 28 Years Later, is in development and is going to be directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland. So the dream team that did 28 Days Later is teaming up for 28 Years Later. Not a lot is known about the plot or anything like that or what's going on, but Cillian Murphy is down to star in this movie.
But I loved it. Yeah, would you be?
I would be there in a flash.
Yeah.
You know, I made two movies with both of those guys in a heartbeat. Yeah. Very nice.
Cillian Murphy, of course, was the star of 28 Days Later. He played a bicycle courier named Jim who got into an accident, ended up in the hospital, and when he woke up, a whole bunch of shit went down. Some animal rights activists set a bunch of chimpanzees free that had something called the rage virus that was very highly contagious and turned humans into zombies. Now, whether you consider this a full-out zombie film or not, that is up for debate, but the apocalypse ensues and the whole of London is, yeah, they're pretty much fucked. So Jim has no idea what the hell is going on, and he meets up with Selena, played by Naomi Harris, and then the two of them, there was another guy in the group, but he died. So, yeah. So after that guy dies, he meets up with Selena. Well, not after that guy dies. He meets up with Selena and that guy, and then the guy dies. And so then the two of them are on their own until they meet up with a father and daughter. The father is played by Brendan Gleeson. The daughter is played by Megan Burns. And then together, they head up to where this army base is in hopes that they will be safe, and then more shit goes down there. Yeah, fun times. Apocalypse is really fun times, apparently. It has been 10 years since my last watch of it, so in looking to see whether the movie still holds up or not, or whether I like it as much as I did 10 years ago, the answer is yes. I really like this film. I love the cinematography and the way that it's shot. It's almost looked like it's shot on a handheld camera. It gets up really close and personal. It gets in the action, and you almost feel like you're right there. I don't think the movie would have done this well if it was all slick and polished. This gives it a very gritty kind of feel, the cinematography. So the cinematography definitely still holds up. I still love Cillian Murphy's performance. This was one of his earlier films, not one of his first, but one of his earliest. And I love seeing how his career has evolved since then. But this was a damn good early performance from Cillian Murphy. And I really liked the character of Selena. I thought she was a badass. The father and daughter, they were really good. And they all just seemed like average, normal people at different stages of the apocalypse. Selena is a little bit more hardened and doesn't really trust anybody. Then you have Jim, who's the noob to the apocalypse, has no idea what's going on. Then you have the father and daughter who have been kind of holed up in this apartment. And there was a conversation that the father had with Selena and Jim. He's like, yeah, like, we need you more than you need us. And the daughter was like, well, we all need each other. So I thought that was nice. And I like how their relationship evolved. Oh, and Christopher Eccleston, who plays one of, like, I guess the commanders, I think the commander at the army base, or the leader of the army base. You may know him as Dr. Nine from Doctor Who, and he was also in Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, he was a scumbag. Like, I did not sympathize with any of his motives for doing things at all. So he played a really good scumbag. I was actually kind of surprised. I don't know if, like, playing a scumbag is a normal thing for him, because I don't watch a lot of his movies or his stuff, but yeah, her was a freaking scumbag. And I thought the story was very strong. It's just like you dive right into it. There's this virus. There's no idea what happened, what's going on, and then shit ensues. Is there going to be a cure? Who the hell knows? But yeah, that's usually the way apocalypse goes. It's all scientists' fault. Damn those scientists! Stop doing shit to turn people into zombies. Just stop it. No. Stop it. Yeah, zombie movies, you don't see a whole hell of a lot of them nowadays. So there was like this big zombie period in the early 2000s and going a tad bit like through that decade. You don't really see a lot of zombie movies that much anymore, but I'm kind of hoping that in some way they make a comeback with a little bit like of a unique spin. I'm a retro channel, but I'm very excited for 28 years later. I want to see like how all that shit goes down. So those are my thoughts on my second first watch of 28 Days Later. It is not really streaming anywhere except for Sling. I don't know what that is. And if you're looking for a copy, since it is presumably out of print, you're going to have to get it used. I got this copy off of eBay. So if you're looking for a good used copy of 28 Days Later, that is where I would go. And pay attention to whether you are getting the widescreen or the full screen, like depending on what kind of TV you have. But if you don't care, then that's fine. So 20 Days Later, what do you think of this movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it still holds up? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Sadly, class is dismissed, everybody, but I will see you next time. Bye.